good morning, welcome back to Cold Waters, and welcome back to USS-614 the Greenling. Well, that escalated quickly. Today is April the 29th, 1982, and we are on station just northwest of Andøya. I may have said that incorrectly, but I'm not Norwegian, can you tell? And our mission, well, is to detect surface tenders that are resupplying the Soviet Northern Fleet. Now, Intel reckons that these... Oh, that's interesting.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
That they're going to be somewhere just off the coast of Norway.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
I got a bad feeling about this. We may have just wandered into 2 or possibly 3 Soviet SSNs. That's a pretty good introduction to the war for the crew of the Greenling. That said, this might be, it's unlikely to be, but this might be a resupply boat. I think it's a trawler. It is. Okay.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as merchant.
Well, an Alpha, that's noisy, and a Victor 1, and they're both noisy boats. So, all being equal, it should be a fairly straightforward...
Make depth 300 feet, dive I.
Should be a fairly straightforward mission, this one. Now, of course, things really are fairly straightforward. But how hard can it be, right? Well, there's 2 of them, and 1 of me.
Come left to 135, helm I.
So, the answer to that is, how many torpedoes do I feel like dodging today? We will see how that pans out. The crew are, I want to say, fatigued. We had a 6-month tour in the Med. You wouldn't think the 6 months in the Mediterranean would be all that tiring, really, let's face it. Sun, all the wonderful sun that you can get. Well, September to April, it was winter, but hey, right by me. Much warmer than the East Coast, much warmer than Connecticut. So, let's see. Acoustics, trawler, reasonable. The Alpha, 44% solution. It's looking at the bottom left of my display there. We reckon he's 7,000 yards away, and he's doing 10 knots. Okay. And then the Victor 1, one of the noisiest boats the Russians ever made, rivals the November, more or less. And that, well, I think he's 20,000 yards away. I'm not convinced that that's going to be accurate. Sea state is quite quiet, so I guess it's fairly calm up there.
Con, helm, steady course.
That's what the right-hand console tells me. We've got ambient noise 79 decibels. So that is quiet. Now, can they hear me? Probably not. The Victor 1, no. They could probably fire a torpedo and it wouldn't hear that. The Alpha might. He's a little closer. In fact, he probably would hear a torpedo launching. But they've got fairly poor quality torpedoes. I think they're set 65s each.
Con, dive at 300 feet, dive I.
Okay, 65Ms on the Alpha, which are better quality. Much longer seeker range, 1,500 yards. Now, as for my weapons, well, I'm predominantly carrying Mark 48 Mod 1s. This is a new weapon. It's been in service for a time. We've had them for a time. It's got a near 3,000 yard sensor range, so it's the Mark 48 that we know and love. I do have a smaller number of Mod 0s. That's the original Mark 48 introduced in the early 70s. Less effective, shorter sensor range, but just as rapid, just as long-ranged. Its biggest weakness is not the sensor suite on board. No, its biggest weakness is its warhead. It's a warhead as opposed to the Mod 1 as a very effective warhead. So the Mod 0, we have lots of them in stock at Holy Lock, but they're not as effective at sinking enemy submarines as the Mod 1s. So given a choice, I want to use the Mod 1s. Yeah, just to preempt things, I'm going to be managing resupplies in this campaign. And so mod 1s are going to trickle in. We might see some mod 2s later on in the game if we survive that long. But mod 0s, we've got lots of them on hand. Well, I say lots of them. We've got lots more of them. Now, Holy Lock is predominantly SSBN base, and those boats, they'll go out, they don't tend to come back and get more torpedoes. That's not what they're really designed for. So in terms of competition for torpedoes, it shouldn't be that much, but it's a shooting match, so other submarines are going to visit if they need to and top up on torpedoes. So there's a bit of competition. This Alpha is actually on an interception course with me, so I'm going to go ahead and turn towards him.
Come left to 049, helm I.
Yeah, he's about 300 foot. I don't really fancy going head-to-head with an Alpha. Can he hear? Yeah, if I launch, he's going to hear me. I'd like to get behind him, or maybe he'll turn away. Alphas have got a habit of doing a crazy Ivan. I'll take a sip of water, I think. Okay, there we go. Crazy Ivan. They will turn around, they'll run up to 20, 25, 30 knots, and then they'll coast and listen. Is to try and clear their baffles. Now, he's not doing this right now. When he runs up to flank speed or even full speed, he makes a ton of noise. So that's a good chance to fire. The question is, does the Victor 1? He may hear me. Oh, there we go. We've got a pretty good track on the Alpha. The Victor 1, he likely will hear me at this range. But I can fairly easily dodge his torpedoes. Well, that's the plan anyway. Okay. Well, let's let this pan out a little bit.
Sonar, Sierra 3 is cavitating.
Okay, that might be the Alpha cavitating. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's doing a crazy Ivan. Let's F2 and look at him. He is. Okay, so reasonable chance to fire upon him. He might be coming right at me. Yeah, I'm gonna...
Con, helm, steady course.
I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna fire at him.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Might get the attention of the Victor 1, but...
Come right to 156, helm I.
What I'm gonna do is... navigate my torpedo north. Dogleg my torpedo to the north. I can get the jump on this Alpha. This is good news. He's going to fire on me, but the question is when. And when they're doing 18 knots, he's kind of deaf.
Sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
I'm going to run up to 15 knots.
Turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering.
We're going to increase my depth, and we're going to put this torpedo active. We want to get this torpedo on its way to the target as quickly as possible. And the reason being is that he can exceed...
maneuvering, making turns for 15 knots.
He can exceed 40 knots, which is the Mark 48 navigation speed. It's a very respectable speed for a torpedo to just cruise along, but we're not going to catch him. He can do 41, 42, 43, possibly even quicker. In attack mode, my torpedo will do 55 knots.
400 feet.
So,
Con, helm, steady course.
it'll catch him. Now, other problem. The Victor 1 is pinging
sonar, Sierra 1 is cavitating.
So he appears to have heard the sounds of combat and is now pinging actively. Well, we're heading for the depths. We're gonna
come right to 180 helm I.
We can't reach 1900 foot, at least within our test depth, but the Greenling, after an incident some time ago, about a decade ago, we've had the test depth recertified.
Con, helm, steady course.
This is the boat that's notorious for having exceeded her test depth, and apparently being within a couple hundred foot of her crush depth, her calculated crush depth. Putting all that to one side,
feet.
we're authorized to take this thing down to about 1600 foot. Now, that's a time of war modification, but okay. Now, interesting. It's tempting to get another torpedo off. In fact, I'm actually going to. I'm going to get another torpedo off towards this Victor 1, because he's still a threat.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
He may only have poor quality torpedoes.
Con sonar, launch transient from.
Passing 700 feet.
The Alpha just thinks that I'm firing on
Con,
again.
fire control, weapon acquired.
I'm going to go ahead and run torpedo 1 in active sonar mode, like so. Torpedo 1 is heading towards the Alpha. There we go. Now, I don't particularly want to especially use external views in this campaign, because
Passing 800 feet.
it's very easy to give myself an advantage, and I'll show you what I mean. Here's my boat, and actually we can see right away there's a torpedo approaching me. It's just over the tail. If I can't otherwise detect that, that's an advantage that I've got that I shouldn't really have. And in fact, I can see another 2 torpedoes, likely one going to the Alpha and one coming from the Alpha. That's now YouTube compression.
Passing 900 feet.
Might remove that from the video, but they're there. And if you can see the Alpha, this distinct smudge, dark smudge, there's a torpedo in that direction. So I don't want to cheat by being able to see their incoming torpedoes. I want a dead.
Come left to 151, helm aye.
I want to dead reckon what may be happening. So I want to avoid using the external view as much as I can. Now that said, I'd also want to
Passing
watch
1,000 feet.
this view here, which is my torpedo coming in and hitting the enemy target. And I mean,
Con, helm, steady course.
in the unlikely event that I'm tracked by a torpedo, and if you're thinking Mark 48, shut up. I'd like to watch that, because that's nice and artistic and shows me evading a torpedo and not getting sunk, because that never happens, don't you know? So
Passing 1,100 feet.
right now this Alpha is not taking any evasive action, and he's doing 43 knots, and he's probably thinking, there's no way my torpedo can catch him. He might even have mistaken me for a Royal Navy boat.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing,
That's
0,
what we
0,
don't
1.
want to be hearing. That's the torpedo having acquired me. Okay. Well, let's get second Mark 48. I need to give him an interception course. So
Passing 1,200 feet.
I think, oh, he's Victor 1 is actually slowing down, turning around. Great. So I'm gonna lose my wire on the torpedo chasing on my torpedo number 2 chasing me. But I need to get out of
Make
here.
turns for 29 knots. Maneuvering aye.
What I'll do is I'll have torpedo 2 go
Con,
live
fire control, we've lost the wire.
about here. Yep, there we go. And
Passing 1,300 feet.
this thing's right on me. Okay, stop my descent at about 300
Con,
meters.
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing, 106.
400
Contact faded.
meters. My bad. Yep, there goes the second wire. Okay. Yeah, so I don't really want to
Con, knuckle formed.
use the view to gain an advantage against the enemy torpedoes. And it's very easy to do that.
Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing,
Okay.
039. Contact is in the baffles.
I'm gonna
Con,
Passing 1,300 feet.
adjust my depth here to try and get above the torpedo.
Passing 1,200 feet.
I don't think it's going to work. I'll drop a noisemaker.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Yeah,
Passing
I
1,000
don't
feet.
think it has.
Passing 900 feet.
Give this a
Passing
knuckle.
800 feet.
Let's take a look. I think we're going to be okay.
Passing 700 feet.
Yep,
Con,
it's
sonar, noisemaker.
Passing 600 feet.
a little close, but it's been closer.
Passing 500 feet.
I'm going to continue my turn.
Con, sonar, we are cavitating.
See, now there's the other torpedo coming in. Now, we did see it on the external view, but now we're seeing
Con,
it.
knuckle formed.
Con, sonar, no longer cavitating.
Now we're seeing it on the
Passing 600 feet.
tactical display.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing.
Passing 700 feet.
That's a pretty good visualization.
Passing 800 feet. Passing 900 feet. Passing 1,000 feet. Passing 1,100 feet. Passing 1,200 feet. Passing 1,300 feet.
Okay, it's got down to depth. We're heading away at north at flank speed.
Passing 1,400 feet.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 038.
Second torpedo just went live, and hopefully we're far enough away, depth-wise, and it's not pointing towards me, so I think I've gotten away
Con
with it.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 038. Contact breaking up.
Okay, looks like we got the alpha, which is a pleasant thing to be hearing. Let's get my depth down to about the 1,600 foot point, I think. So why the difference?
1,500 feet.
The difference in depth is this torpedo
Passing
is
1,600 feet.
likely descending. Let's switch if we can see the view here. Yeah, it's likely descending, but that's me down there. That's me at 1,650 foot depth. I've just exceeded my revised test depth. That's not necessarily the most realistic concept, by the way, but we'll talk about that later. This torpedo will detect me, but I'm hoping it's going to keep chasing this noisemaker in a spiraling descent, and I'll get away with it for a little bit longer. And by the time it picks me up, I'll be way away, and it'll run out of fuel chasing me down. Meanwhile, the other torpedo is hopefully still tracking towards that Victor 1, and if that Victor 1 doesn't know it's coming, he's got a nasty surprise. We'll come on to that later. Okay, so I'll put a bit of distance on. That's nice. It could very well still detect me. Let's switch back here. What's the distance? Yeah, a couple of thousand yards, so I should be safe from it now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and run east.
Come right to 089 helm I.
We'll get my depth up, and we'll run to ultra silent.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Ultra quiet even, same difference. Okay. Right.
Passing 1,500 feet.
You can see the Victor 1, and he is about
Passing 1,400 feet.
250 foot, give or take. He's just below the layer. He's doing 32
Passing
knots,
1,300 feet.
so he's cracking on. I imagine he thinks he's being chased by a Mark 48,
Con sonar regain.
Passing 1,200 feet.
which does not appear to be the case because Mark 48 is nowhere near him that we can tell.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Well, the Mark 48 may yet threaten him. I'm going to get my depth to, say, 300 foot.
Make depth 300 feet. Dive by.
I'll have the autopilot do that. And let's take a look at this torpedo here. Assuming the location is correct, this torpedo is getting close to being able to detect this Victor. And the Mark 48 is a very capable weapon. It's a little nerfed in Mod 0. It's very capable. And it'd be nice if we can take this guy out. So his set 65 is actually aiming towards the circling set 65M that's almost directly due south of me. That is not a threat. It is going to be some distance from me. I'm going to accelerate time. I feel confident being able to accelerate time at this point. Yeah, that Mark 48 is unfortunately not threatening him. Well, it's a shame.
Con, dive at 300 feet. Dive by.
Let's take a look at him. Look at the Mark 48. Yeah, the enemy submarine is somewhere out there, and we're not able to see it. We don't have a good enough good enough acoustic on it yet. We're getting close to. Right, give it a few seconds. We should be able to see it, I reckon, in a few seconds. Let's take a look. I think he's heading for shallower water. Which is a little unusual for him to do that, but okay, this is his view. It's a bit of a wheeze. This is what the game says that he would see, and I'm not going to focus, like I say, on this too much. Looks like he's diving. Okay. He is at 50,000 yards. He's in range of another shot. My torpedoes have got a 35,000 yard range in theory, and he's turning around. He might detect me firing upon him now. But I'm gonna just I'm gonna lull him into a false sense of security. My torpedoes are way better than his, but I think I'm gonna commit a mod 0 torpedo to this guy. So let's replace a couple of those, and that's because, I guess, foreshadowing, I'm anticipating running low on mod 1s later in the campaign. Now, I'm assuming I'm going to survive that long, but I'm anticipating running low on those.
Come right to 095 helm I.
He's just turned away from the threat. Okay. Let's go ahead and actually turn.
Come right to 180 helm I.
It is tempting to get a mod 0 out. Well, as soon as we can. Let's accelerate time a little bit.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
It's actually further than we thought. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if he slows down. I'm going to go ahead and get a torpedo out. Let's see. Pretty long intercept course. Let's get it out to say here.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
And I'm going to go ahead and...
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
I'm going to stay heading south. He is traveling at 32
Con,
knots.
helm,
He's still
steady course.
belting along. He's actually at the surface now. Let's switch to his view. Not quite at the surface. I mean, if he dared surface, I'll fire a harpoon at him. I don't think that would realistically happen, but if I can, I will. I'm expecting him to slow down. But he hasn't yet. And so what we're doing here is we've got our Mark 48 is on an intercept course. And if he does slow down, great, it's going to help me out. If he doesn't slow down, okay. Yeah, we must have spooked him. Well, to be fair, the Americans know how good their torpedoes are, and the Soviets do too. And if I have to commit 3 Mark 48s to kill 2 attack boats, oh well, right, there he goes. He's turning towards my torpedo, but he's not slowing down yet. It's interesting. I think he just did. We lost acoustic signature on him. No, he's not. He's cranking on, coming right at me. Okay, I'm going to turn this torpedo towards him. He may take one to the face. Okay, he's slowed down. And he's sped up and he's running away. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell this torpedo to run on the surface because I'm assuming that's pretty much where he still is. Okay. I'm dead reckoning where his location. I think that's probably quite accurate. Yeah, this feels very clinical. Prosecuting a target at long range with the weapon that is slowly hunting him down. I've got it just under 11 minutes left on this torpedo. But this Victor 1, unless he manages to mess up, he's about to eat one. Well, unless I mess up. Okay, bottom left shows me 8 minutes to go now on this torpedo fuel. I forget what happens if I accelerate it, if I commit it to active mode. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference to its fuel. Okay, so now it's going to accelerate to 55 knots and run along at the surface. So it's gonna overhaul him that much quicker. It's coming out from him stern, so he might not even hear it coming. I think he will. but he might not.
Con sonar, noisemaker,
Okay.
bearing 136.
Yes.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Just for good measure, we're actually going to run this active. He may have anionic coating on that, on his submarine. Let's watch the engagement taking place here.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 136.
I am going to guide the torpedo past the countermeasure here. We've got the wire attached. That's what it's for. Doesn't feel like we're cheating here. Just
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Just 3 minutes of fuel left on this Mark 48, but there's plenty to engage this guy. And if he breaches and goes on the surface, which he's doing,
Con, fire control,
I
weapon
should
acquired.
get a harpoon ready. I'll load one just in case, because that'd be funny if we killed him with a harpoon. Oh yeah, beautiful target. But I think he's going to eat one. I mean, I don't think he's dead, but hopefully he got his crew out. That's a pretty big hole. Let's take a closer look at that. Yeah, I mean, I think I know why he got it on the surface, because he knew he was about to eat one. Well, he's going to slow down. If he submerges, he might sink. So I think his crew need to be getting on board the dinghies, because he should be anticipating another torpedo coming his way. I don't think he'll be anticipating what I've got coming towards him, though. Let's get myself up to 200 foot.
Make depth 200 feet. Dive by.
Should have done that earlier. That's the depth I can fire a harpoon at him.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Oh, we lost him. Okay. Well, we lost the best acoustic signature. I think he's probably slowed down. That's okay. We'll get to watch a harpoon launch. Let's get my depth a little.
Passing 200 feet.
Go. Right. Well, I think we're actually ready to launch a harpoon. So let's watch what happens.
Ship 2-3. Aye, sir.
There we go. Just blast it out of the water. The booster motor will come off in just a second.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
There it goes. And now it's accelerating up to transonic speed. I think it's transonic for the harpoon. It might be a little slower than this. And off we go. Follow this all the way in. And he's still showing us being on the surface. Assuming he still is, and I'll just check that. Ooh, that's a shame. Oh, maybe he is on the surface. Oh, I think he is. I can't tell.
Make
Suppose.
depth 4-5 feet. Dive by.
We may as well give some. We can. Let's get my radar on him. I should have changed my depth sooner. Oh well. Okay, I think we can see him now. No, oh, there he is. Yep, we see him. This harpoon will skim the surface of the sea when it's ready to target, but we don't see it yet. It's not that quick of a missile. It's quick
Con,
enough.
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
There he is. I can see him now. This is the view under the waves. Yeah, this. He's turning towards the threat, but I think it's too late.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 138. Contact breaking up.
Well, I just hope he got his crew. Okay, so mission 1 for or mission 1 in the combat, I should say, for the Greenling. So US Navy 2, Soviet Navy, Russian, yeah, Soviet Navy at this point in time, 0. Well, I hope you got something from that. I hope you enjoyed it. This is mission 1, if you like, of a new campaign I'm starting. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this one. If I do something stupid and get sunk, then it'll stick. But thanks so much for hanging out. Hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you the next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Goodbye.